I used
Here,
lemon pepper.
walk us through your recipe for the
I used lemon
people.
pepper, cayenne pepper, paprika, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and Chinese five spice. Okay.
Now show
That's
us your
just what we
shrimp.
use. What? That's the shrimp.
Okay, and what noodles are
Now
we
the shrimp.
using?
We're using fettuccine. We're using just American Beauty fettuccine.
Is it because you're
'Cause I
my
had some left.
American Beauty?
It's adorable. It's because it's what I had left over, and I gotta see how close we are to done because now it's viable sufficiently. So I have to see it's actual doneness. Fucking false. Ow.
Did you burn yourself? Because you're an idiot.
You cheese almonds. You test pasta. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Oh, yeah, pasta. Ow.
What are we
It's
saying?
reached just barely below al dente. So, just below al dente, so I'm going to take it off. A pot of actively boiling pasta, a strainer. With the over sink,
We go over sink.
before we go over sink, up, up. Get a cup, mug, something. I don't have a measuring cup that I trust with this level of heat. I'm going to take most of a very large mug of pasta water, heavily salted pasta water, out. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to pour it directly onto my hand like a fucking moron. We're fine. As best as hands when you cook for long enough. Turn heat down to medium. It was on high because I'm impatient. Now, we're going to go in. Since I know you're recording all this now I have to give you the play-by-play. Now we're going to go in with a tablespoon of butter. It's probably a tablespoon and a half, but that's okay. Into the pot. The second
Into the bowl.
into the bowl.
Into the bowl. On top.
On top. Sorry.
Oh my god, that was so perfect.
Because today I felt lazy and it was cheap. Went to the store. I got.
Oh my god, are you Prego?
I am Prego. I'm PregerNet. Thank Claire for that. To anyone who ever watches this, he made me PregerNet. Prego. Pregante. Pregnant. Sorry.
Pregnant.
Pregnant. I'm going to get the butter completely melted before I do this. But I'm also taking it off the heat because my pot is still very, very hot. So I'm taking it off the heat because it's enough to melt it, and I don't want to brown the butter here. So then, whole jar goes in. And then we're going to do just a little bit of pasta water from my mug into the jar, over the pot, so as for no waste. Just
Into the pot.
Into the pot. On the top. Better shake it up.
Oh yeah,
Get all
baby.
of it out of there. We are cost conscious in this house. We're gonna dump that in. Ignore the glass crashing noises. That's what flavor is made of. We're going here and I'm literally gonna pull out the only cheese I have. Now, you may be asking, why would you add pasta water? Well, that's because you're uneducated. You add pasta water because it contains starch. Starch allows fats to bind together with water. So, we need to thin out the sauce just a little bit so that it can cook down a little bit so that it can reach the correct consistency. It needs to be the pasta water because it contains the starch and the salt we need to season the water, and also to bind the butter with the cheese I just added so that it becomes a nice, creamy, singular consistency. Also, so it binds with all of this, because I'll be goddamned if I'm going to let all of that flavor be on the shrimp and not in the sauce. Because if we're going to buy jarred sauce like a lazy bastard, all the flavor that I add to anything has to go in there. I gotta touch it up. So now I've made a horrible mistake. It's that I don't own a whisk. I've thrown away all my whisks. So I need a spoon.
What happened to your whisks?
Mostly I got whisks that were like, they're not rubber, but they're like rubbery, and they're like glued into a wood handle. Those all fell apart, and all my metal whisks were ancient, so all my whisks have fallen apart.
Is that something you want for Christmas, baby?
No.
Oh.
That's a me thing. So we're gonna mix up cheese and butter and sauce until it is at the consistency we want. Until it starts to heat sufficiently. And then we're gonna add the pasta fat. We're gonna add the shrimp and all the fats into it. And all the seasonings we put in the shrimp. Get it all nice and lovely. We're gonna let it go for 3 minutes tops. And then it'll be done. We can eat it.
What is your outro, babe? Okay.